She watch
on my Instagram, all on my Twitter page.
Retweet, duck face on me.
She on her timeline,
she lurk
on her Instagram,
taking pics,
all on her Twitter
them
page.
pretty lips, duck face on me.
She on my timeline,
she
my
watch
timeline, my Instagram, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
Her timeline, her Instagram, her Instagram, her Twitter page, her Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
My timeline, my Instagram, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
Her timeline.
What's going on with y'all, man? So, we are back with another episode, season 2, baby, of the Man versus Woman. So, it's your boy Suave,
and it's your girl Lena Love,
and we are here to discuss this topic. And today, man, we have a guest that's gonna join in on us with this topic, and I'm gonna bring her in. You know her from Shades of Purple, and also doing some gaming on a new gaming puzzle game. Matter of fact, let me tell you what. I'm gonna bring her in, and I'm gonna let her tell you what she got going on before we start this subject. We got our girl Purple here.
Hey Suave, hey Lena.
Hey.
Thanks.
What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
So I was just telling the people about some of the things you do on your channel, but I want you to go ahead and express yourself and where can they find you? And I will be putting your channel in the description. So be on the lookout for that. Anybody that see this video at the beginning?
Yeah, thank you for that. Well, you can find me at youtube.com/shades of purple. I do it's a gaming channel where I interview content creators, whether those are game developers or creators like Suave. Lena, hope to have you on soon. And I do some playthroughs of games that I really like. So a lot of times it's indie developers such as Little Nightmares or just recently Lamote, things that are a little bit more lighthearted. But I'm also on community channels, and you can also find me on Fridays co-hosting Cloudy Thoughts with Lo-Fi Monk.
Nice. So today we are talking about the ginger rolls. Where are they today in the year 2022, man? So as you know, that from the beginning of hunting and gathering, the rolls have always been a little different than what they are now. For example, back then when we was hunting and gathering, the male and female would go out and they'll hunt, and they'll whatever they catch or cook, they do it together. When the female became with child, then the man will go out hunt on his own, and then the female will stay there and protect the den. And also when the kid is born, then they would the male will still go out and hunt by itself, and then the female will take care of the kids and cook. As we progress longer and move on and evolve, the roles changed a little bit differently. It became to a point where, and I'm just fast forwarding, that the men main job was to be the breadwinner, go out, get a job, take care of the household, and the female job was to stay at home, cook, take care of the kids. No hunting together, no working together, anything. And we fast forward up until a few years back, it was more like the male would go out and get a job, and now it's a time where even if you're in a relationship, the female also is working in the household. And I don't think it's too much by choice in that area. I think that things have changed, and it's like, oh man, we both gotta work. You know what I'm saying? Bills are coming in, bills are more expensive now, and different things are going on in society to where we both have to have that security of finances in case anything happen. Even when the female is with child, and she has to go on fraternity leave. Then after that, it's some women, they don't even stay on leave too long. They go back to work, because it's more of a need of the bills and the household, and you never know what goes on.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about now how things are. Do you ladies want to go in and jump in there?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. I think depending on what part of time and what society you're talking about, the gender roles have always been mixed. Not every society was a hunter and gatherer society. And at certain times, you had societies where women were governing in that. And I even think in the United States, specifically in the Black community, a lot of times the woman has been the breadwinner in the family just because she was able to maintain a stable job, as where because of many different racial policies in the country, Black men were prejudiced against it and could not maintain a job. So I do think that this has been an ongoing shift in societies throughout history. I think today, though, there's definitely a movement in many parts of the country where it's not by choice, where both households have to work, or both partners have to work if it is a heteronormative relationship.
I want to shout out to the chat before Lena start. Shout out to Cloudy V and Stay Your Pro, and I know we'll have a few others coming in. Shout out to Leah. I know that she's on here as well. She just haven't placed the chat in there. I know she has some work to do. Um,
Hey,
my
Leah.
my number one fan right there. So, Lena, what do you think, man?
I definitely, the generals have changed from then and now. I feel like now, women take pride in being able to be a breadwinner. So we would rather be the ones out there working now and things like that. Whereas not saying that we rather do that, and the man stays at home. Not saying that that's how we would want things, but like, we do take pride in being able to be a part of the things that men can do now, because it hasn't always been like that. Um, like there were times where women had to stay home and take care of the kids and make sure the house was clean, and they weren't allowed to go out and make money for themselves. And now that we can do that, I feel like it makes us um, feel stronger in a way, because we can now depend on ourselves. We don't need someone else to depend on. However, society nowadays, like you said, Suave, things have become a little more expensive. So now I feel like now it's not something we look forward to doing. It's more like a we have to in order to survive kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, things have changed a lot um, throughout the years and throughout time for women. But I think right now we're in a good place, man. Like women are definitely getting on top. So
I think that there are more layoffs now than there ever been. I don't know the statistics on that, but I definitely know just growing up and being in a job, like I've never been fired from a job. And I had I remember when I first got laid off, I was like, wow, this feel different.
yeah,
It kind of felt like I got fired.
yeah,
Now, as an adult, when I got laid off, the company was a good company. They gave me money, and you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So that was a good thing. But it's not always the case. I've heard about people getting laid off and they get nothing. They just got laid off. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult when you have a family and you get laid off, and let's say that you are the breadwinner, and you work for at this certain place for like 20 years. You don't expect to get laid off.
yeah,
And, your wife probably don't work or anything, and then you get laid off. That's kind of serious for a family like that. you know
yeah,
um it could be very difficult. You know, I don't think that there's any like direct gender roles anymore. I definitely think that things are um, becoming where whoever you're in a relationship with, you have to work together to survive. You know, you have to make things work as a unit. You know, and then if you're by yourself, if you're not in a relationship with anyone, a single person, they'll make it. You know, with no kids or anything, they'll make it. They'll find a way. It's easier for them compared to a person that's single and they have kids. And I'm speaking like if you're male or female, you know, because there are some cases where um, you could be a male and you're single and you have the kids for whatever reasons, the divorce, your wife passed away, or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
you have those kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just you by yourself. So it's very difficult now, in my opinion, for a person to have gender roles. And then a lot of times, man, and I've seen this a lot. The roles of um, the male making more money in the household are kind of different now. You have some of those relationships where the female is making more money.
Yeah.
She's now the breadwinner, and the male, he would like to contribute, but he just don't make that much. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, it could be. It's almost like if I was to put it in income status, so just in the simplest form, say for example, a female that's a nurse and then a male that's working for Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm not talking about being a manager. I'm talking about that's the best job they can get right now, and he's probably the cashier. That's a huge income jump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to throw it on top, they're married. You know what I'm saying? And they have kids. So the psychological thing of that, I can only imagine how some men would feel, not all, some men would feel with that status. You know, it's not that they're upset that the woman is making more money. It's I think that it's more they would like to contribute more, but and it could be a situation why he ended up that in that position, he got laid off. You know what I'm saying? He got laid off, and it's very difficult to find a job after you get laid off. You know, you've been working at a certain place for so long, you got a certain skill. This is all you know, and you're like, man, I don't know what to do.
So
Go ahead, step in there.
yeah, so I do want to mention, and I think SPG said it earlier. This is a relatively recent phenomenon, what you're describing here, Suave. So if we look at his, like I said, when we talked about gender roles today, now in 2022, we have to realize that this working independently is very new in society. If we look at total society, women and men traditionally have worked. Women have worked as well, right? You know, if you look at any type of historical piece, like let's just take Western Europe and Downton Abbey, even though that's fake, that's a historical fiction. It's based upon a certain period in England, and you saw women worked in certain parts of the house, men worked certain parts of the house. Same thing if we looked at serfdom in medieval Europe. I think this idea of the man being a breadwinner is somewhat a false idea actually to begin with, meaning that it is, yes, it is an idea of an ideal state for certain philosophies and belief systems. But once again, if we look at the first female millionaire, was actually a Black woman. Why was that? Because Black women have been economically empowered for quite some time in this country to move up and to have stable positions. If we look at the first actual professional chef, that was a woman. So I think when we talk about what it means in today's society when men are no longer seen as the breadwinner, I can't help but think, if I look historically, that this idea of the breadwinner was not there. Sure, there were certain occupations, certain such as a soldier, or even in your term hunt and gather, certain societies had those reversed depending on where it was. Um, I can't help but think that a lot of the frustration today when it comes to gender roles is just potentially an ongoing struggle that's been going on, but by no means is today something let me say it like this. I think the idea that there's one gender who is traditionally the breadwinner is a relatively recent belief and does not hold up against historical evidence.
Okay. I want to address some of the comments that's going on. I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring your comments. So I know that Sarah Pro mentioned that depending on what country you live in and socioeconomic status you're in, that has a lot of different changes and variables to go off of. Leah mentioned that nowadays, really, it shouldn't be a bad thing for a man to feel like he's not the breadwinner, because it is a lot of common situations where the female is the breadwinner and it's like the male is trying, but you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And also she mentioned about the reverse roles, the titles, you know what I'm saying? Cloudy V mentioned something. Oh, he said that pull up. I think sometimes people have the assumption that if they make the most money, they have the most say in the relationship. And that's a huge mistake from the start. I do agree with that, because if you just because you make the most money in a relationship do not give you slave um, rights over someone. You know what I'm saying? That's not being fair. I definitely don't want to be in a relationship with a woman that makes way more money than me, and then she's treating me like a peasant. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I definitely don't want to treat a woman like that. I'm making more money than a woman, and then I'm making her feel like she's belittled, like I'm belittling her. You know,
Yeah.
that's not cool. I want to make sure that we survive. That's in my head, that we're just helping others and we're also helping ourselves survive, because that's what it really should be about. In some aspect, you should have some kind of um, heart to where money is not, you're not driven by money just to have money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, I like to think that men, we look at ourselves as being protectors. So I honestly don't know where the whole breadwinner thing, the breadwinner concept came from, but I do understand the hunting and gathering example that I gave. When they were hunting and gathering, they didn't they didn't give a role to a female because this is what it is. You know, they just said, look, if we hunt together, we can eat together and we'll be able to protect each other when we out there. If you end up with child, then I understand that I have to leave you behind to keep you safe while I go out there and hunt, because I can't carry a kid, but I can still hunt and take care of the family in that aspect, you know. And you got to understand, like, in those days when they were hunting and gathering, they had more to lose. It's like a man can leave his cave to go hunting and then come back and his whole family is slaughtered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where those women back then was more I guess knowledgeable to protect, and because it was harsher times. Now it's like instead of lions and tigers and all those things coming at us, and wild animals coming at us in our cave, we have to deal with bills. You know what I'm saying? That's our threat. You know, so working together, regardless of if it's the male making the most money or the female making the most money, it makes sense to me that you're working as a unit to take care of the family, not wondering, hey, since you make the most money, this then you have the most say so. Like I'm a male, but my female makes more money, so I guess that makes you the king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, and I just wanna I totally agree, Suave. Like I said, I'm not gonna let this go because it's one of my little fillers that I even think the idea of saying that traditionally men were the hunters, it's we have no evidence that that was the case. What we do have evidence is that the best hunters were the hunters, the best gatherers were the gatherers. And so I think that
I'm not going to debate that on this show, but I understand where you're coming from. Go ahead.
we don't have any evidence of it.
We got this. Go ahead.
I'm more than willing to go there. But like I said, I think it's always been a balance to raise a family.
Mhm.
I think that throughout history, the most successful units were when there was equal footing, when there was equal respect. And like I said, this idea of wages, this idea of salary, this idea of like the breadwinner being the person who brings money, it's a relatively new concept, and it's actually rooted in some ideologies that we probably would not endorse if we actually understood where they came from, endorse today. So that's just my point. I think that today's gender roles are kind of, you know, I guess the battle of the sexes, or which one's balancing the family. It's always been a balance. It's always been a struggle to raise a family, and it's where we are today. We're no more unique than previous generations.
I want to go back up to a comment that, let's see. State Pro said that equal footing and equal respect is necessary in relationship, even in finances. Although the breadwinner may have more pull towards investment decisions. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that because the person made more money, then they should have more pull on where the money should go?
I feel as though I honestly don't think it should. I still think it should be an equal thing, right? So granted, one person might make more than the other and they might be the ones to contribute to more than the other, but honestly I feel like the both of you should be able to sit there and be like, okay, well, let's think this out thoroughly and, you know, make decisions together. I don't think decisions should be one-sided because of who makes more.
What do you think, Purple?
I don't think it should be one-sided. I think just because someone makes more doesn't mean they're better at handling money, and vice versa. So yeah, I think the overall concept is it should be, you know, an equal say. I mean, that's what if y'all are in a legal relationship known as a marriage.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same bank account. So or by law, y'all are the same. So, well, depending on what state, but yeah.
What about this then? Lil said that I think some people are still raised to believe that men should be the breadwinners, though. Now, I think also that in some cultures, you know, in some traditions, they are still teaching that regardless, the male is the breadwinner. He has say so over the finances, you know. And I'm not down to any you know tradition at all, no culture at all. I just want to make that clear. But I am saying that things are changing, and I do know that there are some people out there that's still raising kids to think that the males are the breadwinners, and that's how it's supposed to be. But when you get out there and you meet a guy, like I can't see my daughter, me personally, I don't want to put that in my daughter's head and then they meet someone they really like, but it's a deal breaker because they don't make much money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that has what up, Holtz? Holt and stepped in here.
Hey, Holtz. Listen,
Going on, Holtz?
when I got married, I made more than my ex husband, right? So, um, because I made more, I didn't feel as though that I made the decisions on finances because at the end of the day, like things should be equal, you know. I'm all about things being equal. Um, so even though I make more, I would still ask you your opinion on where the money should go and what would be more important for the money to go towards, you know. Um, but as far as cultures go, I do think some cultures still raise their children to believe that one gender should be prominent to making money while the other is home, because there are a lot of cultures that are still like that. So
Let's go to Cloud Validations message right here. He said that this day and age, and I think we all kind of agree on this. In this day and age, the raising of expenses with home, car, and all the other expenses, it takes two people minimum, and
yeah,
90% of the relationship to make work pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? I think that society has come to that. Like, we need two people to survive in certain areas. Now, depending on where you live, you may have a good job in that area. But if you take that same job and let's say you decide to move back to your hometown and that job is not really popular, then your income is in reverse. You
yeah,
know, Cloud Validation also said that I personally think there's clear evidence that in the 30s, 40s, 50s, men dominated and women had their place. I'm not saying I agree with it. It was horrific to say at the least, but it's a part of our history. And I'm just kind of repeating what he said. um, Purple, do you want me to read your comment?
No, no, I'm always in the chats talking to
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
That's my thing. No, I agree. I think it's a great conversation, and everything. But yeah,
What do you think about what Cloud Validation is saying right there about responsibilities?
I think it's important that both people in the relationship have equal costs and responsibilities and put if their children involved, eventually they should be taught. Of course, I mean, it is a team effort, right? There's a reason why the saying is it takes a village to raise children or a kid or however they say it, a child.
I think in that saying they're speaking as like neighbors, and even though they're
Yeah,
not
but I'm saying
blood,
regardless of the unit of the team, whether we're talking about a family unit or a
Yeah.
team, a village, it's a team. The most successful teams, the most successful units are ones when there's mutual respect and shared responsibility. And so I think that is, I think that's just solid advice from Cloudy V.
yeah,
Host was saying about the disses that women get, without being belittled. He's saying, plus I guess he referring to what we was talking about with women, their roles back then compared to their roles now.
yeah.
And during World War II, oh, that's what you did. I'm reading this like, who's this person? Who is this person? I think Cloud V responded to what you said. Yep, that's why I was saying since
Yeah,
World War II.
Yeah.
Cloudy V and I are usually on eye to eye terms.
Yeah, with the military thing. And then y'all both, I think Cloud V had some military experience, but and then Cloud V is a little bit older than us. So he
Than
was
you.
going through those times where the roles, gender roles, there were actual gender. Well, okay, I'm tongue twisted.
Can't even talk.
Gender roles back then.
You're making Cloudy V seem like he's like from a totally different time.
No, 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 no.
Did you see that?
I mean,
When Cloudy V back in his day, like making
because I know that he's a little bit older than me. You know, I'm 38. You know, since I know he's a little bit older than me. So, not to put his age out there, but I know that he can speak on things that was going on that I cannot speak on because either I wasn't born or I was born and I just didn't know what was going on around me. You know what I'm saying?
Cloudy V had to go to
Just
school.
trying to hide his age, you know?
Yeah, had to go to school in the snow and the rain, walking uphill both ways. That's how you're saying Cloudy. That's Cloudy V's time. You're like Cloudy V back in his day.
Back in the day. I mean, I think that I think now in 2022, and the gender roles are kind of like out the door. It's like I've seen even with other cultures that follow their traditions, but because of things going over here in the United States, they're like, man, we're gonna have to make it happen. Like, I guess you're gonna have to be the one making more money than me right now. Do they like it? No, because I spoke to a few guys that are in other cultures, and I'm not gonna release their culture or anything, but it's a pride thing. It hits a man pride. I think even now, American men, it hits the pride. You know, it's like it's not that we don't want the bills paid. We just want to contribute. We want to make sure that we're doing something. We're contributing something. It don't have to be just money coming in. You know what I'm saying? We want to do something. Like, man, if I have like if I'm working a job and at Burger King and I get my lit check and it's on about $500, I want to make sure that my $500 is contributing to this household. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I had to get my whole check, because that's how much we care about our family. And I'm just speaking on men that really care about their family, how we're looking at it. And I'm speaking up for you. If I'm wrong and there's some men out there listening to this that care about their family, feel differently, cool, go ahead, make your comment, bro. But I'm just gonna go out there and say that there are men that cares about their family strongly. They want to make sure that they're contributing, and they don't care that it's less than what their significant other is making, as long as they're able to help. Because I'm gonna tell you now, a man that really care about that, even if they was in a car accident and they was on top making the most money and everything, they was in a car accident and they're not able to do that job anymore, I promise you, he'll be and he lost his legs or something, he'll be walking on his hands, going to a job to try to make it work. I can almost guarantee that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those men, and I have a lot of responsibility, and I want to make sure that I have plans in place to take care of my family, regardless of how much money. I'm not going to dwell in how much money I have now. I'm making plans for if I'm no longer here, will my family be able to survive? Do I have those plans in place? I see some new people coming into the chat. What's good? Geek the Sneaking in here all geeky like.
I Twisted Barber as well.
We got Twisted Barber in the house,
I was like, oh, okay, we got some
good crowd.
He's a little twisted, but I'm a barber too. I just make good haircuts, all in a twisted manner, So my two brothers, man, I appreciate y'all stopping in, man. Twisted Barber said women in Spain are now allowed to take 3-day menstrual leave per month. Okay, that's good. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Spain.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I was gonna say that they should also have something for men out there when their significant other, I'm not even gonna say wife, I'm just gonna say their significant other if they got anyone pregnant, they're trying to be there or whatever, regardless if they're married or not, I think they should have. Now they do have this at some jobs, but I think they should have like some kind of leave equivalent to the female leave, so they can help take care. Because it could be kind of stressful for a woman being at home by herself while the man is at work, and she need help, and let's say they already have a kid and she's trying to take care of two kids, and it could be a lot on her for taking care of that newborn and making sure that the other kid is able to have all their needs fulfilled. So I think that it should be a little bit help from and the man want to be there, but because of that job, he has to go to work. And if he miss, he's not going to get paid for it. I mean, there's only a certain amount of PTO you could take, you know what I'm saying? Until it ran out. And then you're like, hey, anytime I take off, it's like I'm not getting paid for it. And we can't have that, right?
So does that mean that paternity leave isn't available everywhere?
No, it's not available at every
It's
job.
not?
No.
No.
It's not.
Oh my god! I honestly just thought it was a thing now. Like
No, you're in New Jersey. If you go to another part of the country, another part of the world, some parts of the world have like Holtz. Go talk to him about his family leave options. Pretty well. They're pretty good.
God. Yeah, no, out here we have paternity leave. Like the woman gets 6 weeks for maternity leave, and the man literally gets 3 weeks. So they get to be with her for at least 3 weeks out of the 6.
So I'm gonna answer Holt's question. Holtz, I don't know. I guess it depends on what people do in their own household. I think this is just something that I've came up with, judging on the men that I'm surrounded by. You know what I'm saying? All of us, we get together and we think of plans of how to take care of the family. We even have contingency fan that, look, we're close, we're brothers, even though we may not be blood brothers, we're brothers. If something was to happen to me, man, I need you to step in and do this. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that everything's being ran right. The lawyer know you, everybody know you. So it's like, okay, when you have a say, your say is going to count compared to this stranger that say, yeah, I'm Suave best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody don't think like that, but I surround myself around people that think like that.
Oh my
Simonton,
God.
what else, Simonton?
And that's in the house too.
What's that?
Vet Cloud Gaming.
Where you want me to go? Hold on.
Vet came into the chat.
Oh, Vet, what's going on, Vet? Oh, I thought you said when you said Cloud Gaming, I was looking for a message that
No, Vet Cloud Gaming. No.
Let me get to some of these messages. Help me out, guys. He said they don't even got the significant thing one night.
They don't even have to be significant. The one night stands are dangerous.
I do here.
Simpleton is a simple man, and he gets straight to the point.
There's a call for women to pay the same price as men for haircuts. Boy, God, those twisted haircuts, man. We know you nice. We know you nice when you step in that barber booth. You know what I'm saying? My man Geek, I found out that the company I work at has parental leave. Okay.
Paternal leave.
Paternity leave. I'm sorry. Paternity leave.
Suave is getting nervous now.
No. I'm like, I mean, help me out because I'm.
What's preventive leave? That's what I want to know.
I was thinking, like,
what
I don't know, being a parent.
Preventive leave. You need to go take care of your shit.
Because you're a parent. I was thinking like parental leave. You're a parent. You can leave as a parent. Anything happens. Anyway. I only found out because my supervisor took leave after his wife had a baby. Okay, nice. That's good. I mean, not everybody have that though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you, Claudia V. Holtz, it became a thing where fathers should take a leave and allow mothers to keep their job. Yeah. And they laughing.
No, they're laughing because Vet said he's a one night stand.
Right, right. I saw that. So Cloudy V, he said, I've never paid for a haircut. Oh, they talking about the haircut. I refuse to cut it myself. Military crew cut style every Friday. Quick, fast, and simple. Nice.
That's a high and tight, Cloudy V. A high and tight.
Right, man. So I think that we all can agree on one thing, that times have certainly changed, you know, leading all the way up to 2022. Can we all agree on that? You know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, then. So
I'm not gonna say that. I just think we're always it is organized chaos at every single time.
Oh.
yeah, man. So, man, I think this is a great topic. I think it's a topic that definitely needs to be put out there so we can all relate to it and, you know, get that information out there. If you have any comments about anything we talked about today, please leave them in the comment section, man. If you're new to the channel, subscribe.
You didn't even see it, Lena. Simpleton, I saw you. I saw you.
Just give us some likes, you know, make sure y'all like this video. Until next time, man. Peace out.
Oh my God.
Oh, hold on, Purple. Do you want to shout out anything before
I'm
you
literally
go?
going back and I'm like reading all the comments. I'm just cracking up.
That's hilarious if you read these comments. You know, I'll be on a show tomorrow. Super special guest who's actually in the chat right now. I'm really excited to interview him. Stadia Pro Gaming. So if you want to understand more about who he is underneath the gaming, underneath the Stadia content creator, please come by tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be diving deep into that. Friday, I'll be co-hosting with Cloudy with Lo-Fi Monk on Cloudy Thoughts. Obviously, it's always a great time to see Purple Shade on that channel. And then Saturday, Super Saturday, I will be playing Mortal Kombat with the other Stadia content creators. So please come on by.
Nice, man. And
I'll be on a game show with Cloudy V. So that's my next few days. So see, yeah. So yeah.
So if everybody want to catch those shows, man, I'll put her channel in the description. Also follow me and Lena on Twitter. Do you have a Twitter you want to shout out before we close, Purple?
I don't even know my Twitter. It's Purple Haze though. Something. Purple Haze 614, I think.
Okay.
On this show.
Okay. Nice, man. Well, look, until next time, guys, peace and love. Thank you all for supporting us. Me and Lena, catch my next show, the Man Cave Show, next week. Me and your boy SPG. We got a few things we're going to laugh and kick about, and then get ready for the Diamond Show also coming up. So we got a lot of things going on. Until next time, peace.
My timeline,
She watch,
on my Instagram,
blowing kiss,
all on my Twitter page.
retweet, duck face on me.
She on her timeline,
She lurk,
on her Instagram,
taking pics,
all on her Twitter
them pretty
page.
lips, duck face on me.
She on my timeline,
She
my
watch,
timeline, my Instagram,
blowing
my
kiss,
Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter
retweet,
page.
duck face on me.
Her timeline, her Instagram, her Instagram, her Twitter page, her Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
My timeline, my Instagram, my Twitter page, my Twitter page.
Duck face on me.
Her